How you doing, YouTube? It's time for a beer review. So what are we going to be reviewing? Well, I've decided I have yet to review any beer of this style, and you might be thinking, oh, something interesting, maybe a sour or a rye beer, or nope. We're keeping it trashy over here. We're reviewing some ice beer, Icehouse. Coming in at 5.5% alcohol by volume. If you want to get drunk on a budget, Icehouse. If you plan on getting abusive before the night's done with, Icehouse. Divorce, Icehouse. Anyway, a good looking beer here, but this is brewed by the folks at the Plank Row. See that? Plank Row Brewery. And you're probably thinking, ooh, never heard of Plank Road Brewery before. Yeah, you have. Miller Brewing Company. It is the Miller Brewing Company. Actually, I can probably tell you exactly where it was. Union Made, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah. Miller has a couple breweries. If it's Union Made, odds are it's the Milwaukee, Wisconsin location. Plank Road Brewery also does some other brands like Red Dog. I can't find that at all. Southpaw. And I believe there's another. They also have, of course, the Icehouse Edge, which is, I guess, the malt licky version of this. But anyway, this is just good old ice beer. And for the folks of you who do not know what ice beer is, by the way, we had a decent head there. It's dissipated some. Ice beer is basically you take basic lager. You freeze it. Water freezes. Alcohol does not. You skim off the ice particles. You do that a couple times. Now, in, say, Germany, which is where ice beer, I believe, really comes from. It comes from the style of the Eisenbach. They'll do that several times and you get a very boozy beer. In America, we're not that crazy. They skim off the ice one time, go take a sip, and go, well, I'll throw a little bit more water back in it, 5.5%. So not incredibly high in alcohol content, although ice beer is kind of known as white trash beer. Like, hey, you know, I got a really bad job. I don't like my life, and I want to get drunk tonight, so I'm going to get an ice beer. No offense also to my buddy Herrera. He drinks Bud Ice. So all this stuff I said about being depressed and everything and drinking ice beer and being trash, that does not fit with you. That is everybody else. But Herrera, you're pretty cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a sniff, not a sip. And one thing I get with ice beers, a lot of them is, and also I need to work on my fucking body. I'm getting a beer gut there. But you get like this fruity, kind of off note, and that's just a lot of higher gravity and higher ABV lagers I get that with. Although this isn't as, say, like off fruity, and I got some damn flies over here. The dang dogs, you know, ripped up some trash. I'm gonna have to whoop her ass after I drink some Icehouse. And that explains some of the flies. Anyway, compared to a lot of other ice beers, like I said, you don't get that real fruitiness, but it's still there, that off note, and a little bit of like white bread. But other than that, it's pretty simple. I mentioned earlier, had a decent little head that dissipated quite quickly, although because it's a Miller product, I'm guessing we're going to get some good lacing here. And the color is quite gold. It isn't like your, you know, it's not like a light beer. This ain't going to be straw colored. This is actually a very beautiful beer, if I'm being honest. Flavor-wise, quite smooth. Not as syrupy as some ice beers I get, not like as sickly sweet as some ice beers, but you do get a little bit of a syrupiness. You do get a little bit of that sickly sweet. It ain't crazy. It ain't punchy in the face. The whole fruity kind of off note that I mentioned earlier about ice beers, you do get it in this, but it's a lot more subdued compared to your Bud Ice, your Busch Ice, your Natty Ice, things like that. And it's a lot more subdued compared to if we're talking high gravity malt licky. But overall, as far as flavors go, this ain't bad. And also, I'm pretty sure Icehouse was the first American ice beer to hit the market. like late 80s, early 90s. So they did a very good job, the folks at Miller did. It's actually not bad at all. You do get, like I said, a little bit of that off note. And then you get like your white bread. It's pretty similar to a lot of your basic, adjunct lagers. And I'll be honest, yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and light a smoke. Yesterday, I got a tall boy of Icehouse just for the hell of it. Because it had been a while, and I was like, I remember Icehouse not being too bad. And I drank the tall boy, and I was like, that was actually really freaking good. I had that, and I got a 12-pack of PBR, and I was kind of like, I wished I got a 12-pack of Icehouse. So I went ahead and rectified that today. Got me a 12-pack Icehouse, and I'm enjoying it. It is a budget-friendly beer also. The 12-pack cost me, I think, $8.50, and there's a dang yellow jacket. About $8.50, so economical. Yeah, that's the main thing about ice beers I've noticed is a lot of them are pretty cheap. So that's, like I mentioned earlier, that's the whole stereotype. They're cheap, they got a little bit more alcohol in it. You want to get drunk, chug them. And that's kind of the negative stereotype that ice beers have gotten, is it's just, they're not good. And I would say, I'm not a huge fan of ice beers, but I don't hate this. This is not bad. Like if someone gave me some Bud Ice or something, I can drink it. And I don't want to say they're inherently terrible. There's a lot worse products you can get besides like Icehouse, besides Bud Ice, besides Natty Ice, besides Bush Ice. But they're not my cup of tea. But I will say, as for the style, Icehouse is a dang good beer nonetheless. But yeah, the whole stereotype is unsavory people drink ice beers. And if I'm being honest, I've met some unsavory people, and I've met some ice beer drinkers, and if we made a Venn diagram, there would be some overlap there. Not saying all unsavory people drink ice beer. I've met plenty of unsavory people that drink Michelob Ultra as well. And not saying that all ice beer drinkers are unsavory people. But like I said, there is a little bit of overlap. But what is pretty nice, like I said, the Icehouse. Quick little overview here. The color is actually very, very beautiful. A nice golden appearance. I'm surprised, though, not as much lacing as I get with a lot of other Miller products. Though, you get a little bit there, but normally you just get like a real thick, beautiful lacing all over the glass. I'm kind of surprised by that. Maybe the slightly higher ABV has something to do with that. I'm not quite sure. Even though, I mean, 0.5% of alcohol shouldn't make that big of a difference at all. And smell-wise, you smell a little bit of booze, but still smells a lot like your run-of-the-mill adjunct lagers, just a little kick to it. And flavor-wise is quite similar. You get, a little bit of fruitiness, white bread, a little corn, maybe very, 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 very subtle booziness, but you really got to look for it. But other than that, no huge off notes compared to a lot of higher ABV lagers. What am I going to give this? Well, I'm going to rate this based on the style, of course, and I'm going to put price into consideration. As far as the ice beer category goes, as far as price goes, we're going to go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10. Very solid. Would I drink this all the time? Maybe not all the time, but will I drink this from time to time? I might actually pick me up a 12-pack of Icehouse, and I might get some dirty looks, but it is what it is. It's not a bad beer at all. Anyway, 8 out of 10. Like, rate, and subscribe if you care to. If you don't, whatever. See if I can remember this. Make sure to cure your local pedophile. There we go. And have a good night. and a pleasant tomorrow.